Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Michael Zerafa versus Nikita Tszyu has been confirmed January 16th of 2026. Finally, the bad blood will be put to bed. This is a big fight, big grudge match. Look, it was a weird press conference. If you watch the press conference, the announcement, it was odd. There seemed to be no direct hatred, a lot of sort of backhanded compliments. Everything just sort of seemed a little bit weird. They were so indirect with their comments towards each other, whether it was nice or whether it was disrespectful. Michael Zerafa almost trying to play a nice guy, complimenting Nikita Tszyu. Nikita Tszyu, bit odd, bit weird, but he is a bit of an oddball. Sort of speaking about the way he's been disrespected and the way that Michael Zerafa has disrespected his family in the past. Nothing sort of disrespectful said there, but Nikita Tszyu definitely spoke about the lead up to the Tszyu versus Michael Zerafa fight and anything said in and around there towards Nikita Tszyu's family in particular. Nikita Tszyu definitely seemed to have more of an edge in this fight in terms of emotion and feeling in it. Michael Zerafa seemed to be a little bit more calm and a little bit more collected. Like I said, trying to play a bit of a good guy. Nikita Tszyu looks like the normal sort of menacing Nikita Tszyu, but this one probably backed with a bit more hatred towards Michael Zerafa. Now, one of the key aspects to this fight is probably venue and weight class. If you know, Nikita Tszyu is a super welterweighter and Michael Zerafa is a middleweighter. So a 160-pounder versus a 154-pounder. They have met in the middle contractually. They are going to fight at 157 pounds as a catch weight. The venue is undecided. Now, when this sort of first got spoken about middle of early of this year, I'm talking April, May sort of time, they were talking about Michael Zerafa versus Nikita Tszyu in stadiums including McDonald Jones Stadium, which is in Newcastle. It's a rugby league stadium. It holds 33,000. Combank Stadium, which is in sort of Western Sydney in Parramatta. It holds 30,000 people. And Rod Laver Arena, which holds 14,000. And that is a tennis venue that you use for the Australian Open. Now, a date set of January 16th almost rules that out completely because that's in and around Australian Open time. So I'd be very, very surprised if on a Friday, 2 weeks out or so from Australian Open, that they get access to that. But it does seem as though Newcastle, Sydney or Melbourne are probably the key destinations. Michael Zerafa will obviously want to fight in Melbourne, and Nikita Tszyu is probably comfortable anywhere, but more comfortable in Sydney or Newcastle. Tszyu fought a heap of times at Newcastle, so they know that they can fill out a stadium in Newcastle, but I don't think where it is will matter. They will fill it no matter what, because this grudge match will get everybody's attention. Let's talk now sort of about the fight and early doors. It's very early doors. We're still quite a few months away. Who's going to be the favorite? Who do I think should be the favorite? And a little bit about each fighter. But if we quickly retract a few years now, it's a long time since Michael Zerafa and Tszyu was scheduled to fight. Like, that was July 7th of 2021. They were supposed to fight during COVID times in Newcastle. Obviously, that fight gets cancelled, depending on which side you're on, depending on who you are, depends on your opinion for why that fight got stopped. The Tszyu's heavily on the side that Zerafa was a bit of a coward and pulled out of the fight and just didn't want to face him. Michael Zerafa had his own reasons, and then there's the media reasons of COVID-related issues and various other legal problems that caused the fight to be cancelled. Either way, in the lead up to that fight, there was a lot said between these two guys, and obviously Nikita Tszyu has taken majority of the offense to those comments. So it will be a very exciting fight. Early doors, who would I expect to be the favorite? If you look at Michael Zerafa and his record, the people that he's fought, the venues that he's fought, the opportunities that have been granted to him, like he's been in world title fights, he's fought people like Kell Brook, Jeff Horn, Anthony Mundine, Erislandy Lara. Comparing that record, the people that he's fought and the record of this will be his 40th fight compared to Nikita Tszyu, who at 27 has fought 11 fights, but really nobody of any credit. They're all sort of domestic level fighters. Michael Zerafa obviously has that huge advantage in results, in experience, and in big event sort of atmospheres. The other thing that I will say for Michael Zerafa is it being at 157, although it's not Michael Zerafa's weight, it's still a huge advantage for him. Those 3 extra pounds that Michael Zerafa will have to weight cut will hurt at first, but eventually he will fill out and he'll be the bigger fighter on the night. You even saw it in the face-off. He is 1 or 2 inches taller than Tszyu. So if you can if you sort of put all those things together, you put the weight, you put the height, you put the experience, you put the age, you've put everything together, Michael Zerafa, for no reason at all, should go into this. Underdog, the only thing is, depending on Australians betting, I feel like majority of the public will be backing Nikita Tszyu, probably because he's the more likable character and he is the brother of Tim Tszyu and son of Kostya Tszyu. There's a lot of weight that goes into that, which has really no effect in his boxing ability. Just because your brother is a great boxer and your dad is a legendary boxer doesn't mean it's just gonna all happen for you. You still have to do it. So for those reasons, I'd put Michael Zerafa in as the favorite. Michael Zerafa now 33, 34 years old. You compare that, and he's had 40 fights, been in world title fights. He hasn't won them, but he has been there. He's the higher ranked fighter against Nikita Tszyu, who at 27 has only had 11 fights. The other question mark over Nikita Tszyu is his fitness. We know that there's a hand problem that has been lingering. You look at his recent results. He fought in August of this year and he fought in August of 2024. Those are his two most recent fights. He did have 2 fights in 2024, but, you know, that year layoff, and now we're talking about another 6 months until this one. It is in and out of being a bit ring rust, and you look at Nikita Tszyu, he has fought 3 minutes since that that Keon Mazudia fight in August of 2024. So not a lot of ring time for Nikita. Michael Zerafa, he's fought 3 times this year. His last outing being a round 1 KO, but he's been more active. He's gotten into the ring. He's gotten ready for fights. He fought once last year, I believe. And then he fought Tommy Brown, Bessier Eye, Mikey Dorman, all in the same space of Nikita Tszyu resting that hand injury. And look, Nikita Tszyu can't do anything about that. That is a hand injury. But the question mark is, he's fought 1 round with that questionable hand. If this fight goes 6 or 7 rounds longer, how does that hand hold up? Those are probably the early question marks that you've got to put into this fight. As far as predictions, we're not even going to get into that. We're going to talk about this a lot more in the lead up to this fight. But it is very, very exciting to see that Michael Zerafa versus Nikita Tszyu will be happening. I do hope they add a bit more spice. That press conference was a little bit too nice, a little bit too, I don't know, there was just, I want to see a push. I want to see people getting in there. We know Michael Zerafa can play the bad guy. We know Nikita Tszyu is a bit of a nutcase. So I want to see these guys really start to, you know, put a bit of showman into it. Let's entertain. Let's build this fight up because, look, if they can secure a stadium of 33,000 people or more, you know, I want to see that thing filled out. I want to see tens of thousands of people come out for this grudge match because it should be very, very, very exciting. All right, guys, let us know in the comments what you guys think. Like, subscribe, and I'm out of here, guys. See ya!